observing this explosion mostly in nuclear bombs and nuclear reactors where the uranium will be bursting up as it is a chain reaction process. Now, we have seen the types of combustion. There is two types, that is rapid and spontaneous, and the sudden blast and burst are to be as explosion. And we have seen them with different examples. Now, let us see what are the factors, that is harmful factors which are caused because of combustion and flame. That is the major disadvantages of this is global warming. That is, global warming is a very disaster or the very disadvantage because of combustion and flame of gases in vehicles. Previously we have discussed regarding the combustion, flame and types of combustion and the structure of flame. Now let us discuss what are the harmful effects regarding this combustion and flame and what are the disadvantages besides them. Now let us see the burning of fuels leads to harmful products. That is, what do you mean by harmful products? The harmful products itself defines that harmful, that means that is which is affecting our health, which is harmful for our human lives and at the same time for the environment, which is leading to the disaster conditions of the environment. Now let us see here the increasing fuel consumption. What do you mean by increasing fuel consumption? That is, if you observe, day by day we are increasing the consumption of fuel, that is petrol, diesel and coal products we are using tremendously in order to survive for our daily purpose, right? For the sake of production of electricity, we are using coal mines tremendously, and at the same time petrol and diesels for the vehicles, automobiles, we are using them for locomotives and tremendously we are using all these things. Now because of this, the result is what is, if you combust the coal products, that is either wood, coal, charcoal or petrol, anything of these products, you will be resulting in a small particles. That small particles are said to be as unburned carbon particles. These unburned carbon particles will lead to dangerous carbon monoxide gases, carbon dioxide gases. These two carbon related gases are very dangerous to health and very dangerous to the human life and natural phenomena also. Now, these carbon fuels will lead to the dangerous respiratory systems diseases such as asthma. Asthma is mostly caused in small children also even nowadays. It is because of this pollution effect. When this pollution, the combustion, after combustion of these coal, petrol, diesels, the pollution which is coming out from the vehicles, that pollution, if at all we respirate it directly, if we observe it directly, the lungs which are inside will be affected a lot because of these chlorofluorocarbons and carbon monoxide gases. Because of this, our lungs respiratory system will be decreased and the respiratory strength of the lungs is decreased, and thereby the stamina of a person is decreased and the lifespan of the person is decreased. Therefore, we can say, if you observe during the ancient times, the people used to live for such a long days, around 100 years, and they used to be very strong because of less pollution and because of good air and good environmental conditions. But nowadays, if you observe, people lifespan has decreased a lot up to 60 years only. That is because of these harmful gases which are released from these unproper combustion coal products. So we will be saying that because of these harmful gases only, the lifespan has been reduced for major extent, and these harmful gases not only affecting the life of a human but also at the same time affecting the environmental conditions, and it is leading to natural disasters. The nature is a good, right? This nature is a wonderful one and we will be enjoying by seeing the nature. But this nature, what is a God's creation and it's a gift of God, and we are enjoying this creation. But at the same time, we are spoiling unknowingly with the help of these harmful effects. Because of these harmful gases, these natural phenomena, that means all the birds, species are being decreased and they are not at all seen. We can't see some species at all at present, like rhinoceros and all those animals. We can't even see so many birds traditional methods of cooking, that is of wood and coal and cow dung, they used to use gobar gas. All this gobar gas is better, it is biodegradable and it is very good, but the people who cannot afford and rural areas, they used to go for forest areas and they used to cut the wood, cut the plants and they used to bring that wood and they use it for cooking purpose. When this wood is burned up, they are giving the combustion, that is they are releasing some gases into the atmosphere, and those gases are said to be as very dangerous gases, and they are known as carbon dioxide gas. Mostly carbon dioxide gas is released into the atmosphere, carbon monoxide, nitrogen, sulfur, all these gases are released tremendously into the atmosphere, and the content of CO2 and these gases is increased, and thereby it is affecting the livelihood of animals, that is flora and fauna in forests also. Because of cutting of wood, there is no shelter for flora and fauna in forests, and at the same time by combustion of these wood resulting into the formation of poisonous gases, that is harmful gases, and which is leading to decrease or diminish the extent of these species. Now let us see the effect, that is deforestation. As we have discussed, the term deforestation is known as cutting of plants, that is deforestation. Afforestation is opposite to deforestation. Afforestation is growing of plants and planting of the plants is said to be as afforestation. And nowadays if you see many government schemes has been introduced, the Haridharam in Telangana also, you will be observing that they are using mostly in order to increase the plant rate, that is in order to increase the environmental conditions to up to limit and to maintain the ecological balance. And let us see another term, that is global warming. What do you mean by global warming? Global warming is nothing but the term itself defines warming of global, that is globe, that is earth. Earth is increased, that is the temperature is tremendously increased on the earth's surface because of this rising temperature. That is the reason is rising in temperature is because of these carbon monoxide gases and CO2 gases. Because if these are in higher extent, the temperature will be rise, and because of this temperature rise, if you observe the ice cubes or the molten ice, that is ice which is in polar regions, will be melted because of the rising temperature, and therefore those ice will be turned into water, and those water will steam from the higher mountain areas to oceans and seas. Therefore the sea level will be increased, and automatically there is a cause for floods, cyclones and typhoons, which indirectly reflects or affects on the coastal areas of earth. Therefore we will be observing so many times, right, the cyclones and typhoons which are mostly occurring near the coastal areas affects the people who are the coastal areas, and the whole areas of coastal areas will be collapsed. Not only coastal areas, it also affects the 1/4 land. You know that mostly the earth is covered with 1/4 of land and 3/4 of water, right? This 3/4 of water is not in water form. Imagine if at all this 3/4 is in water form, it will result in very disastrous conditions. But some part is in ice form. Therefore, we are sustainable on this earth. If at all this rising temperature leads on, that means it is progressed. If at all there are no proper preventions taken place, we have studied regarding the term, that is global warming. The global warming is due to the rising temperature, and it is leading to the melting of this ice into liquid, and therefore the coastal areas, the water level will be increased, and therefore it leads to floods and typhoons, and it leads to the whole disaster of the earth. Now let us see the other term, that is acid rain. What do you mean by acid rain? Acid rain is nothing but the rain is mixed up with the chemicals, that is the poisonous gases or harmful gases, and which leads to the formation of the acid rain. Now let us see, these coal and diesel, when they are combusted, they are resulting in two gases, that is said to be as nitrogen gas and sulfur dioxide gas. These two gases, when they are mixed up with the rain, it is said to be obviously the acid rain, which is leading to the harmful acids which when fall on the earth's surface will be harmful to the fields, crops and for plants, and it is very dangerous human bodies and to the animals and flora and fauna. Now let us see these acids will lead to the death of the persons also. Again, if you observe, if at all a person is using the coal in any closed surface or in any closed room, if at all he tries to get warmth during winter season by burning of coal, then if you observe, if he has closed the doors, it will may lead to the death of the person up to a day night, because it is a tremendous gas, that is CO2 and CO gases are released tremendously, and these gases will affect the person's health, that is breath, and obviously he goes to death because the room is very close. So what the people will prefer is they should keep the room open when there is any coal is burning up or combustion taking place. Now let us see one more thing, that is the acid rains. How these acid rains are formed? It is because of this coal and petroleum, diesel. When they are combusted, the small particles which are unburned or uncombusted particles will lead to the formation of sulfur dioxide gas and nitrogen gas. These gases are very harmful, and because of this the manure, that is the soil fertility also will be reduced a lot, and the lifespan is reduced, and at the same time the natural environment, natural conditions are also spoiled, and forests are spoiled a lot, and overall it affects to the decrease of lifespan and decrease of the environment. That is, in further, if at all these conditions are progressed, there will be no life on the earth, that is for sure. So what we have to do is we have to prevent this burning of this. That means we have to minimize the usage of coal products, either by planting, that is afforestation, planting, growing of plants is major step what we have to take for, and we have to eliminate the traditional process, that is cutting of plants, wood, and we have to go for LPG gases, that is liquefied petroleum gases for cooking purpose, and also we have to change from these diesel and petroleum coal products. We have to change from these products to compressed natural gas. The compressed natural gas is free of acid gases, and it is less polluted, and it is not that much affecting the environmental conditions. Therefore, what we have to do is we have to need a change, that is transformation of wood to gas, LPG, and petrol to CNG, that is compressed natural gases. When we perform all these measures and the transformations taking place, then we can see the lifespan, and we can see the life going on the earth as a good for decades of years. Now, I am hereby concluding this chapter, that is combustion and flame. In this combustion and flame, let us review what we have studied in this. That is, first of all, we have studied what is combustion and what is flame, and the structure of the flame, and the types of combustions, and what are the precautions, and what are the harmful effects caused by the combustion and flame. And we have seen the basic essential things what are necessary for combustion, saying that is oxygen, that is atmosphere air, and the temperature, that is the source is sunlight. And we have seen everything from this chapter regarding the